Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is in Jakarta right now for his first overseas visit since being re-elected. He met with Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto yesterday, both leaders discussing defense ties, economic security, critical minerals, as well as regional stability. Now, Prabowo pledging to ratify a bilateral defense pact, while Albanese called Indonesia, quote, an indispensable partner. The visit comes as Australia looks to try and diversify trade beyond China. My colleague JP Ong has more on what this whole meeting means, JP.
Yeah, Martin, and when you're visiting a country for the first less than 2 weeks after getting re-elected as Prime Minister, you're basically telling that country, you matter and let's be besties. At least that's what Australia is trying to tell Indonesia, with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese in Jakarta, as you mentioned, to discuss a number of issues centering around two particular pillars, defense and economic ties. Let's talk about the latter first, actually. And one thing that I actually wanted to cement, and they did sign a comprehensive economic pact about 5 years ago, which is something that Indonesia said they want to deepen and even progress even further, specifically around critical minerals. Now, if you recall, Australia has a very important part to play in Indonesia's grand ambitions, that is, or goals, to move up and become a major player in electric vehicles and electric vehicle batteries, because the one component they do not have actually in Indonesia is lithium. Australia happens to be the biggest producer of lithium in the entire world, and not that far actually from Indonesia. So exporting, which they've done over the last 2 years, has begun in earnest, and this is something they want to deepen. The other thing that they've also expressed interest in from Indonesia also is that, if you know, Indonesia has great ambitions to join as many economic clubs as possible. There's BRICS, there's the Comprehensive Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnerships, or CPTPP, and OECD as well. Now, with regards to CPTPP, Australia happens to be the chair for 2025. So thus him being there actually gives them an opportunity to say, hey, we want in the club. And Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said they are prepared to support Indonesia's efforts to join these two particular groups, CPTPP and OECD. So again, you're seeing Indonesia making the most of this visit, actually, trying to deepen those ties and also to perhaps move up the economic value chain, that is, Martin.